name is Doc. Do you have an appointment?
Good morning. We are here to see Wihan and Lynn. We have an appointment for 10:30.
Okay, right this way.
Thank you.
So how can we help you today, guys?
So, as you know, I have a fantasy book out called Dragon Slayer, and Mia, who is a representative from an up-and-coming streaming platform called Showflix, is interested in adapting this book into making it a film. So we're here today to find out what the legal implications of this will be.
Okay, alright guys, so we can help you with that. I read your book, Sidnee, and it was great, and I think the movie adaptation will be just as good.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so for you to be able to allow Showflix to use your book to write a screenplay, you need to assign your adaptation rights to them.
But what does it mean to assign? Can you please explain that to us?
I can, no problem. So Sidnee, you're the copyright owner of Dragon Slayer currently. That's your intellectual property. This means for someone else to use your book to create something else, you must transfer your rights to do so to them. This is because as an owner of an intellectual property, you have exclusive rights over that intellectual property, now Dragon Slayer, meaning that only you can use those rights.
Okay, I get that.
So she must transfer the right to adapt the book to us, as Showflix.
Correct, and that brings us to an assignment. Lynique, would you like to explain more?
Sure thing. So, assignment is a legal act of transferring your rights to someone else, as if it were movable property. After assigning those rights, you will no longer be able to exercise them because you have signed them away. So, in your case, Sidnee, you will transfer your adaptation rights to Showflix. So, the effect of this is that Showflix will now be the owner of those rights, and Sidnee, you will now cease to be the owner. Does this make sense?
Okay, I think I get it. Just to make sure, so Sidnee will not be able to sell the right to adapt to our competitors like HBO Prime, right?
Yes, that's correct. Because those adaptation rights now belong to you. Sidnee will be infringing your copyrights if she uses those adaptation rights for something else or if she tries to sell it to someone else.
Sorry, I just quickly want to jump in here. However, it is important to remember that Sidnee remains the owner of Dragon Slayer, and that she, although she assigns her some of her rights, she still has exclusive rights over the book, such as the reproduction thereof.
Okay, so what do we have to do to seal this deal and commence the adaptation process?
Good question. So a deed of assignment needs to be drafted. Wihan and I will be able to draft this for you. It will clearly stipulate that Sidnee is assigning her adaptation rights to Showflix. Thereafter, this agreement must be signed by Sidnee as the assigner. Meeting these requirements will make it valid, and then we are ready to go.
That's perfect. I'm so glad that your firm will be able to sort that out for us. Oh, but before I forget, I also am working on currently a sequel to Dragon Slayer.
Okay.
The name will be Dragon Slayer Fire Wars.
Okay.
And Showflix has also shown us interest in adapting the sequel to a second film as well. So would we require 2 deeds of assignments that need to be signed after I complete the sequel? So maybe can you tell us a bit more on that?
Alright, no problem. So with future work, the deed of assignment has the same formalities and effect as those of an existing work. So this means that the deed has to be in writing and signed by the assigner, as in this case, it would be Sidnee. And once the particular right of adaptation has been assigned, Sidnee ceases to be the owner of that right, and Showflix will have the exclusive right to adapt that work. The only different requirement here is that the work must exist at some point in time, and the copyright must subsist in that work. If the work does not come into being, the deed of assignment will be void.
Oh, okay. So we can kill 2 birds with one stone by creating one deed of assignment for both books, even though the second one isn't finished yet.
That's correct. So the adaptation with regards to the first work will be transferred immediately as the work already exists. However, the aspect of the deed that assigns the adaptation rights in respect to the future work will only come into force once the work is finished and the copyright subsists the work.
Okay, so that makes things so much easier. Thank you so much. I think they will be very pleased with this arrangement back at the office.
We are so happy to hear that. So once the deed of assignment has been drafted, you will hear from us, and thereafter it should be done by end of business day on Thursday.
That's great. Thank you guys so much for
It's a
having
big
us
pleasure.
today.
Thank you so much.
We look forward to receiving the draft.
Of course.
You can have our details.
Yes, we certainly do.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.